Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。Chapter 16: The Battle. Darryl returned with Charlie an hour or so later to begin his weekend shift with Lydia. At the last second, I backed out of dinner. Darryl pleaded, "Please stay and eat. You cooked it, after all." But all I could think about was the investor party. Now less than 20 hours away. I didn't want to get into the details of that, so I let Darryl think. that the afternoon's squirrel scare was to blame and that I was just emotionally exhausted, which wasn't far from the truth. I went home, drank wine alone, and stayed up late watching old episodes of Downton Abbey, trying to keep my mind from the next day's challenge. Why couldn't I be more like Alan, for whom avoidance came naturally? Why did I have to drink myself silly to achieve distraction? I woke the morning of the party feeling terrible, so I took some ibuprofen and slept some more. Ibuprofen, a synthetic compound used widely as an analgesic and anti-inflammatory drug. Slept more. At least I remembered to call Needless Necessities to tell Jasmine I couldn't be volunteering today. Around 2 in the afternoon, I finally felt human enough to get out of bed. I needed to shower and get dressed, but I stalled. I reached for Sublime Lives and read to myself the last stanza, Lord Byron allegedly ever wrote. Used to convey that something is claimed to be the case or have taken place, although there is no proof. Allegedly. If thou regrets they use, why live? The land of honorable death is here up the field and give away their breath. It was time for me to prepare for my own battlefield. I took a long shower and donned the stylish but low-key hippie ensemble, wondering if it really did communicate back Lady Bohemian. More more emphatically than it should. Emphatically. At the last minute, I decided I wouldn't risk it and changed it into business attire, navy dress shirt with matching kitten heel pumps and a white blouse. Margaret blouse. Margaret wouldn't be there to see my regret, but damn if I didn't think Lord Byron was somewhere out there judging me. The party started at 4. I wanted to be fashionably, translation, passive-aggressively, late. So I headed out around 4:15. Alan and Kaylee's pretentiously named the neighborhood. Pretentious named the neighborhood. Pretentious. Pretentious, attempting to impress by affecting greater importance or merit than is actually possessed. The reels of Innisfree consisted of 2 small lots, sapling trees, and gleaming white concrete curbs. The 4,000 square foot home was done in a style I like to call modern mishmash. With a half dozen or more historical motifs thrown together. Motifs. Decorative image or design, especially a repeated one from a pattern motif. Or more historic motifs thrown together. A couple Corinthian columns. A stone wall, red metal roof, and 2 front porch gas lamps flickering at 4:30 in the afternoon like something a 13-year-old boy might design for Dungeons and Dragons. The impeccably manicured front according with the highest standards, flawless manicured front lawn looked sparely painted green. I got the sense that not a single leaf dared drop, lest it be severely scarred. With the intention of preventing. Distant laughter flowed from the pool area in the back of the home, but I let myself in through the yellow painted front door. There was no one there to greet me, and that was fine with me. I took in the home's decor. There was little in the way of antiques, just artificially distressed pottery, barn fare that some called shabby chic. There's little in the way of antiques. But there was nothing. There was little in the way of antiques, just as artificially distressed barn fare that some called shabby chic. But there was nothing shabby about this place, about this home. Poor condition. A lot of dollars had gone into furnishing it. Everything was perfect. I ducked into a side room, which turned out to be Kaylee's office, small yet charming. Maybe I would find something incriminating, say. A letter from her mafioso boyfriend, making someone pure guilty of crime or wrongdoing. Mafioso, a member of the mafia. Instead, my eyes settled on something much worse. Lying a neat column along one side of the desk were cards from several popular high-end home furnishing stores. They weren't advertisements. They were personalized cards, each containing a login for Kaylee to go online and choose the components of her wedding registry. North Carolina law required a couple to separate for a year before their divorce could proceed. My divorce from Ellen couldn't go through until December at the earliest, but Kaylee seemed more than ready for the day, her day, and she was already planning for it. After some tears and more than a few calming breaths, I escaped to a sitting room where I ran to Joe Archibald, the financial planner. Archie, as he was known, was relaxing in a chair in the corner of the living room, tipping back a short glass of brown liquor. Though he wasn't himself an investor in large-scale developments, many of his clients were. Hi, Rett. Good to see you. Hi, Rett, good to see you. He stood up to give me a hug. Congratulations on the company anniversary. I appreciated the squeeze. You do know that Ellen and I are separated. He nodded as we both sat down. Yes, I heard. I didn't want to bring it up if you didn't want to talk about it. Thank you. If you don't mind me asking, how did you hear? He looked to make sure we were alone. Brad and Gail Norris told me. Really? Are they your clients? 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。